Good morning, beloveds. Thank you, Felicia Taylor. Thank you, Deborah Ellis, for our beautiful opening treatment. Thank you, Gabriella, for our reading. And thank you, Mindy. And thank you, Don, for being the wizard behind the curtain. And we're going to thank you all again later. But I'm just overwhelmed with gratitude. And so it just had to come out. So, this is our second part of spiritual insomnia. You might have caught some of that in the Rumi reading. Don't go back to sleep. It's so easy to do, to go back to sleep. It's that comfort zone that we sometimes retreat to. And I'm encouraging us all to be brave, to learn to live outside of the comfort zone most of the time, and then have the comfort zone as a restorative retreat rather than our residence. The 12th step, just to remind us, says, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message and to practice these principles in all of our affairs. And so, yes, this is referring to the 12 steps of recovery, and it could also, in our metaphysical New Thought teaching, refer to the steps of treatment. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps. See, you get to work that however it works for you. That's the whole beauty of actually presenting this stuff and wrestling with it, because we can individualize it, right? And so imagine if you leaned into the steps of treatment, knowing, going into them, that they will absolutely produce a spiritual awakening in you, as you, that empowers you to live spiritual principle in all your affairs, all of them. And it's important to really embrace the allness that we're talking about here. It's easy to be at peace. It's easy to practice the principle of peace in the privacy of my home, in my meditation chair, with the lights dimmed and the candles lit and my phone turned off. I can practice peace all day long. Can I practice peace in the middle of the storm? Can I be a presence for peace in the chaos of humanity? That's what we're really after, is to so deeply embody these teachings, right? We start at the head level, right? Just like the 12 steps, we start with honesty. Being honest that there's something that we're searching for. That there's something that we're yearning for. There's some desire unfulfilled. And then we practice open-mindedness to begin to explore what that might be. And we become willing to explore all kinds of options. And then we just keep going deeper and deeper levels of how. Honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. And if you've been with us for the whole year, you've seen that theme weave its way through the 12 steps of recovery. That they are just layers of honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness that take us to an experience of principles like integrity and inclusion, that take us to an experience of joy that doesn't require anything outside of us. Right? And so even in the metaphysical teaching, it offers us that we can experience joy in the midst of deep sorrow. That we can experience calm in the middle of the most chaotic storm. That we can be the presence of love in the face of hate. There's a story about Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King that there's actually a song. Esther Nicholson wrote and performs a song titled, "I Believe This Belongs to You." And the story goes, he was out for a meal in public, and a well-dressed man in a suit approached him and asked if he was Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. And when Dr. King responded, "Yes, I am," the man spit on him. And as the story goes, Dr. King took out his handkerchief and wiped the spit off of his suit and extended it back to the man and said, "I believe this belongs to you." I want to be that peaceful in chaotic moments. I want to practice these teachings and spiritual recovery to the point where everything in spiritual principle is so deeply embodied in me that it's my automatic. Right? We talk frequently about what to do when we're triggered. And I invite you to imagine being so completely healed that the only trigger you have is one that triggers spiritual principle. That no matter what happens, spiritual principle is triggered. No matter what. When I imagine that for myself, yes, there is an argument in the back of my head that goes, well, that's a long shot. And maybe it is. And I'm willing to take it. I'm willing to stay in the game. I'm willing to continue to do the work of healing. To find out, is it possible? Because if we're infinite possibility in form, it has to be possible that our only trigger can be spiritual principle. That no matter what happens, love is triggered. That no matter what happens, peace is triggered in us. That no matter what we see on the news, compassion is triggered in us. And so I want to wrap up with Dr. Holmes, because I think this is what he's ultimately inviting us to do. It's actually on page 423 of the Science of Mind, a Philosophy of Faith, a Way of Life. And it's called The Final Conclusion. And if you've been with me for any length of time, you've heard this before. But I invite you to just take it in. In conclusion, what the world needs is spiritual conviction, followed by spiritual experience. I would rather see a student of this science prove its principles than to have them repeat all the words of wisdom that have ever been uttered. It is far easier to teach the truth than to practice it. But the practice of truth is personal to each, and in the long run, no one can live our life for us. To each is given what they need, and the gifts of heaven come alike to all. how we shall use these gifts is all that matters. To hold one's thoughts steadfastly to the constructive and to what endures and to the truth may not be easy in a rapidly changing world, but to the one who makes the attempt, much is guaranteed. The essence of spiritual mind healing and of all true religious philosophy is an inner realization of the presence of perfection within and around about. It is the hope of heaven and the voice of God proclaiming, I am that which thou art. Thou art that which I am. Don't go back to sleep, beloved. Rest, pause, restore, and keep moving forward. No matter what, don't go back to sleep. Let's take this into prayer. And so I know that there is only one infinite, ever-present allness, that it is the singular substance expressing itself in the multiplicity of life, that it is diversity expressing, that it is unlimited, infinite possibility, expressing in newness, breathing life, sustaining all that is as it expands its experience of itself through the expression of itself. Known by many, many names, it is beyond any singular name. It is spiritual principle, all and each, and more than we have yet to even imagine. And I know that I am that. And I know that what is true of me must be true of all in the continuity and wholeness of one. And so I recognize that I speak my word for a body of creation. That the infinite as me is speaking itself into realization, into becoming real experience. And so I claim and affirm an awakening as a result of these steps. I claim and affirm life that is led and steeped in spiritual principle in all affairs. That beyond appearance, what is seen, what is known, what is uplifted and energized is the truth. Through spiritual principle, the tikkun olam, the uplifting, the bringing together of the divine sparks of creation to create a fire that burns so brightly, everything unlike it is burned away. And love, peace, compassion, everything good and brilliant is all that is experienced. I see it. I claim it as so. And knowing that the activity of law, the soul of creation, the very activity of the creative process, has already received, has already heard the word of the infinite spoken into it, grabbed it, and acted upon it and made it so there's no waiting period. And so I know that it's already complete and simply waiting for each of us as expressions of it to notice it, to own it, to embody it, to be it. And so knowing all of that is true, I let go. Nothing more to hold on to, nothing more to do, and everything to be. Ashe. Shalom. Aho. Amin. Amen. And so it is. Namaste, beloveds.